Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Bill Horin, and Bill is an award-winning documentary filmmaker, photographer, and founder of ArtC. And Bill, I was online looking at a promotion that you put together for the city of Millville. I was very impressed.
You're talking about the one for business that
Yeah.
we were hired to do that. In fact, we also want to do the same thing for a tourism commercial.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you were going to play that commercial.
Good.
If you want to play it now, you can, and then we'll talk about where it's leading to other things.
Okay. George?
Business demands location. Millville, New Jersey's got it. Business demands infrastructure. Millville's got it. Business demands a ready workforce. Millville's got it. Business demands affordable real estate. Millville's got it. Business demands leadership that gets it. Millville gets it.
Whether you're building, expanding, or relocating your operation, Millville means business.
Visit millvillenj.gov.
That's really good. Got a lot of people there. That's nice. The mayor did a nice job.
I got a drone this past winter.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. And I decided I need to get a license, a pilot's license, because I want to do this kind of footage. And to do it commercially, you can go up for fun and do it. But if you're doing it commercially, you really need to have a license. Hardest freaking test I've ever taken in my life. I'm sitting there going, it took me 3 weeks of studying to pass this test. But I'm glad I did, and I get to use it for these kind of commercials and for other work that we're doing, especially in Millville. There's a lot of things we can do with it. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got the license, and I'm anxious to move forward and do more things.
Yeah. Now, what else do you plan? You did say about the tourism component.
Okay.
Would be next.
So we found out Marianne Lodge retired, as you know.
Right.
We found out that the website she had, Glasstown Arts District website, was going to go down once she retired. In June, it was going to end.
Oh, I see.
So I thought, okay, since I came back to Millville, one of the things I thought we needed was a website and an events calendar that let people know all the things going on in Millville. Like there's different little calendars here and there for each individual work, but something that you could look at and say, okay, here's what's happening in Millville this week. So I approached Marianne and said, hey, is there some way we can take over and redesign and rewrite and do everything and she was happy to do it because she felt that, it keeps her legacy going. Right. It keeps the promotion of Millville alive. And it gets the word out about how much there really is going on in Millville right now. So we really went in and did a lot to it. I mean, if you go to the different sections, there's an events calendar, usually 70 to 90 different events on the events calendar from all over Millville. This is Millville Means Business. We did profiles of a lot of small business owners with write-ups about them.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
We've been doing those on Facebook. We got a section on food, eat, and drink. I refer to it all the time to see what's open and where I'm going to go get something to eat.
Yeah. So
this is something not just for people coming into Millville, but it's also good for the local people, the citizens of Millville as well.
Well, as George has up the hotels and motels in Millville, you've got the Quality Inn, which is my friend's place, Rogers, but you also have the one back on Bluebird Lane. Is it
Fairfield?
Fairfield, thank you. Fairfield
Inn. That's on our plate.
Right, and then the good news is the Roth brothers are going to build a couple more right on the Millville-Vineland line to go along with the motorsports park. To the golf course.
I did hear that. So George also had something up there that's a poster that we're working on. That's something we're going to be putting up all over Millville for the website. And it's going to get people, it's got a QR code on it. Our URL is visitmillvillenj.com. So this way, not only for Millville people, but we're starting to get the word out outside of Millville. We're reaching out to the Philadelphia community, to Delaware, to other places and say, hey, there's reasons to come to Millville. There's a lot going on. Our title is There's More to Millville. And you know that.
Sure, absolutely.
People underestimate, you hear the bad things about Millville. We know Millville has some problems.
Yep.
We get it. But there's so much good stuff that if you can get people to come in and experience it, then it grows. And it keeps businesses downtown. It keeps businesses all over. You know, they can survive and do well if more people are coming into town and experiencing what Millville has to offer. So this is a big part of what we're doing right now. I'm focused a lot on creating this website and getting it out there and getting our community to share it and get people to look at it. So that's a big part of what I've been working on lately. And as I said, we have a social media page. Have two, actually. One's to visit Millville, New Jersey. We also have the official page for the city, Millville, the Holly City. So I'm trying to keep going to events and different things happening and just keep promoting, hitting people over and over again. Here's what's going on in Millville. Look how good this is. This past weekend, I went to 6 events in Millville.
Wow.
I missed Fourth Friday, which I usually go to and take some pictures. So I missed that one, but I posted a picture from it. But I went to all these other events throughout the city, and it was like, there's a lot here. So let's just keep making people aware of that, and let's keep it growing. And I have to say, doing this website, I got to see a lot of things I didn't know about. For example, we did a section called Nature and Recreation. So I went to all the different parks. There's some the Parks and Recreation Department does a great job of maintaining these parks and really keeping up with them. And I was just surprised how much there was out there. So that was a part of it. Recreation, you know, I didn't really go to the racetrack much until recently. I went to the car show this weekend.
Uh-huh.
There's always something going on out there too. The Levoy Theater has always got something.
Yeah.
We got the arts downtown with the Renaissance Center, the Arts Innovation Center, DC Gallery and Studio, the Village on High. So this morning I was at Wheaton Arts. There's always something. Over the weekend they had their antiques market. So there's always something going on. And then I went and had a chicken dinner at St. Nick's Ukrainian Church. So I saw the mayor. He was out there. The food was great. Beautiful day. But growing up, my father went to St. Nick's. I mean,
did he really?
Well, we're Ukrainian, yeah.
No wonder I like you so much. I swear to you, I love the Ukrainian people.
Do you really?
I really do. Of course, one of the most beautiful women I've ever dated was a Ukrainian woman, but they are just good people. And, well, of course, my God, take a look at the Romaniks. There's not a bad Romanik you'll ever find. Dupnoks. I mean, just go down the list. So many wonderful Ukrainian people in Millville that we're very, very fortunate to have that, and St. Nick's Ukrainian Catholic Church as well.
I have a very strange, I'm also half Italian. My mother was a Torelli.
Oh, okay.
So the combination of the Ukrainians, very stoic, very good-hearted, very hard-working people. The Italians are hug you and squeeze you to death.
Exactly.
So it was a weird combination, but it worked.
It's funny. I had my cousin Joe Baruffi on the show one night with me, and I'm talking about all these Italian people from his area that I just really, really like. And finally, he taps me on the hand. He goes, "Jim, what do they all have in common?" I said, "They're all Italian, and they're warm, they're friendly, and I love them."
Yeah.
And going to Italy, my God, the country personifies friendliness and warmth and all that kind of stuff as well. And I've just both of them, the Ukrainians. Yeah, like you said, they're not the same personality as the Italians, but they're good, hard-working people and very respectful. And I really enjoy being around them too.
I do as well. Got a lot of relatives still in town that are Ukrainians.
Oh, that's right, sure, yeah. Now, who were some of your Ukrainian relatives?
Well, the McCormicks, they're half Ukrainian.
God, they're the best. Yeah.
The Horns, my cousin Stevie, and my uncle Leon, and Michelle, and Jeffrey, and Brian, and Chipper, and all those. They're all Ukrainian.
There's not a bad person yet. They're all super people.
We're good people.
They really are. No, I mean, really are. I think of the McCormicks and the Horns and all the people that I know. They're real good people, and you're blessed to be born into a wonderful family.
Okay, thank you.
Which is good. We're talking with Bill Horin, and we'll be back with Bill to talk more about some of the tourism commercials that he's put together. And we're going to talk about Pat Witt, who's another gem in the city of Millville. And of course, as Bill mentioned, you got the Levoy Theater. That's a fantastic draw for the Holly City. And there's some things coming up later in the program that we're going to talk about that's going to be happening at the Levoy in September. And we'll do all that right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Business demands location. Millville, New Jersey's got it. Business demands infrastructure. Millville's got it. Business demands a ready workforce. Millville's got it. Business demands affordable real estate. Millville's got it. Business demands leadership that gets it. Millville gets it.
Whether you're building, expanding, or relocating your operation, Millville means business.
Visit millvillenj.gov.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Bill Horin, who's very talented. There isn't anything I don't think, Bill, that you can't do. I'm telling you, this man is amazing. He puts together websites and commercials and social media, tourism, and one of the people that's certainly a gem for the city of Millville is Pat Witt. Now, I understand you're going to do a book on Pat Witt.
We've actually done the book.
Okay.
We just got the first draft in, and so the Barnes Studio of Art actually commissioned us to do the book. So we've been working on it now for maybe 4 months. So we have a writer, Sterling Brown, who's brilliant. He also wrote our documentary about Pat Witt. So we have a documentary we did quite a few years ago. So the book is now should be done in the next 3 or 4 weeks after all the corrections and tweaking and everything. And it'll go to the printer. And then in October, there's going to be a launch party on October 27th at the Levoy Theater.
Oh, that's super.
And it'll be the book, and it'll also be, we're going to show the documentary again that we did on Pat.
Oh, that's good.
I remember we did the first documentary in 2012, and I thought, okay, we've covered Pat Witt. What else is there to say?
Yeah.
6 years later, we had to do another documentary because she kept going. She just kept doing new stuff and adding things and just boom. So we said, okay, let's do a revised version of the documentary, which we did. So October 27th from 2 to 4 p.m., actually 3 to 4 p.m. will be the book and the documentary. And the Levoy was generous, and they're donating the theater to Pat and to the Barnes Studio of Art for this.
That is great.
So we're really excited about that.
Interesting. I had Joanne Burns, who's the principal of the Child Family Center, on with me the other day, and I saw a little child that came from her school. Pat Witt opens her facility up to the 3 and 4-year-olds to go over and start to learn about art and see it and
They have
appreciate
a whole program now. Sandy Smith actually runs that program, and it's amazing what they do there.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Pat looks so young. She really looks great, and she's been one of the people. In fact, to be honest with you, Bill, as I think about I went to my doctor today, and she was praising me and the commission that got elected in 1997 about getting the Arts District started. And Pat was one of the key people behind getting the Arts District going because she exemplified art in the city of Millville. She was the artist, and she gave us some good advice. You know who else gave us good advice? And I know we're going to talk about Wheaton Arts as well, but Barry Taylor, he was at Wheaton Arts. So he was on the committee, Kim Ayers. We had a lot of real good people to talk about the Arts District. I got an interesting story. You grew up in Millville, right?
Yeah.
So you remember Frank Spence and Boys Shop.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
Well, anyway, at the time, the city, we invested probably, I don't know, $100,000, maybe less, into buying the 3 little Frank Spence and Boys Shop and turning it into the Riverfront Renaissance Center for the Arts. And Mike Galliano got the bid to do the renovation. And he said to me, Jim, do you think this Arts District thing is going to work? I said, yeah, I do, Mike, I really do. Well, he bought the AA sales building next door. It was sort of like a flea market building. They had mattresses on the front sidewalk. And he put $1 million into that building. And that is beautiful. So that was the beginning. And then Rick and Lois Abbott, they invested $1 million in the old Woolworth building. So one thing led to another, and it got good momentum going for us during that period of time. Now, in fairness, 2008, the economy went in the toilet.
Yeah.
That's one thing that, hurt, I'm sure. And when we started the Arts District, I would say when we were maybe peaking, 2005 or whatever, we had 95% occupancy on High Street. But before that, in 1997, when we started, we only had 50%. And unfortunately, we're going back that way now. But, with the promotions and all the things that are going on. And that place right there, the Levoy Theater, is a godsend. Because when I ride downtown on a Saturday night, and there's a lot of cars, then I know the Levoy's doing something that's bringing people there, which is a nice situation.
I've been doing their photography now for the last 4 months, maybe. So I don't do all of the events there. I do, a handful. But I am amazed at the quality of the acts, the enthusiasm of the crowd there, and the professionalism of the Levoy, the way they market things and the way they get people into the theater and the way they run a show. From the sound people to the lighting to the stage crews to everybody there. It's a very and it's the thing when we do the film festival there and people walk in that never been there before and they go, oh my God.
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah.
They're just shocked that they're in the middle of downtown Millville and they're in this incredibly beautiful theater. But we have other things in downtown Millville. You got the Arts Innovation. I was talking with Jackie Sandra the other day.
Uh-huh.
They have these amazing events and exhibits at the Arts Innovation Center. New York quality. I used to go to New York all the time for art exhibits. She's doing stuff like that in Millville. We just need to get more people to come to these things and be aware. The same with Wheaton Arts.
Yes.
That Museum of Glass. I walk in there and I'm thinking, this could be anywhere in the world. This is a quality museum.
Yes, it is.
And there should be more people there. The Renaissance Center, the the Village on High, which is a cute little stores, DC Gallery and Studio. There's so many things still happening. And I think we could be on the verge. You were talking about how when the Arts District first came into town, that there was all this occupancy and people, there was an excitement.
Yeah.
I think that's can come back, and I know that there's new restaurants coming into town. There's some other businesses. I saw a photography studio came into town. There's some other stores and restaurants coming in. So one of our goals with the Millville Tourism is to hopefully get more people to experience the stuff that's in town and keep it going. Because I really think Millville's got a lot more going for it than I'm just shocked every time I go out there and see all the stuff that's going on.
Boy, it's neat, too, at the Wheaton Arts. You can actually blow your own paperweight. It is just something else. And it's one of the largest glass museums around, and it's just fantastic. But again, it's getting the word out, letting people know about it, getting people here. Now, the good thing that we haven't talked about, when we were talking about hotels in Millville, and you mentioned the the Marriott? No. What's the one?
There's several. There's the
but
Fairfield Inn you're
That's
talking
it,
about?
Fairfield Inn. Thank you.
Holiday Inn Express.
Yes. Well, that would Fairfield Inn and the Quality Inn are both in Millville. Holiday Inn Express just over the line, and you've got you got the Ramada, but you also have
Racetrack has
Hampton.
their own accommodations.
Yeah, they do. Bill, they're popular. Those exotic car garages are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're no drain on the city because there's no schools, there's no crime. These are people that I've met who come from Connecticut, from New York State, from New York City, from all around the Delaware Valley, who come here and they race their cars or race their motorcycles. So what I'm saying is that's a great tourist draw that goes along with Wheaton Arts and all the other things that we have. But the new tourist draw that should be really very good for us is the Mike Trout's golf course that they're going to be opening that's 2025. So that'll bring in some people with some money that can go and buy some beautiful artwork.
Well, and also Silica Sands is part
Yeah,
of the
that's
golf.
going to open. That's the first one.
It's a 9-hole open to the public. The other one is a private golf course, and because it's right on the border of Mill, it's technically Vineland,
Yeah.
but it's right on the border. And if you're bringing people into Millville, letting them know, by the way, there's a golf course 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big draw. It's a big plus for Millville, even if they're not benefiting from some of the other things. I think this is all really good stuff that's happening, and I can see it continuing. Plus, the city has actually been doing a good job of getting bigger business. Livonia just opened up.
I did see that,
I
yeah.
went to the ribbon cutting. It's a beautiful facility, and it's going to be, a big deal in the city of Millville. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff happening, and we're hoping that by raising awareness and bringing more, not only among the people in Millville, but people that are going to come to Millville.
Right.
The biggest compliment I got so far on our social media when I started posting the Visit Millville on the social media, she goes, "Oh man, I just saw your post. It looks great. Now I got to come to Millville." And it was from a woman in Philadelphia when she said that. That's the one from
Livonia, right?
Livonia, yeah.
Yeah.
We did a video and photography for that event. So, yeah, we've been trying to do a lot of different things. One of the things that we're working on now, too, and it's not Millville, but it's going to premiere in Millville, is the Palace of Depression in Vineland.
It's something we've always had some interest in, everybody.
Have you been there?
No.
Okay. So years ago, these two guys decided they're going to rebuild this Palace of Depression. The whole story, George Daner from the 1930s and when he first built it, and he was very eccentric. Then they were having Halloween things, like the one picture you're looking at now. I went out there for Halloween one year. So they had a bunch of stuff going on at Halloween. But we decided it's a great story, and they're redoing it. They got these people, Steve Medeo and several other people are reworking on it and redoing the Palace of Depression. So we decided to do an art documentary. It's going to be about 10 minutes long. But my writer, I asked him to do it from the perspective of George Daner. That's one of my team there. Dan Piano is the videographer.
I know Dan.
We got great people working on this thing, man.
Yeah, you sure do.
We got Chris Arazi.
They don't get any better than Chris.
Chris is doing original music for it.
Yeah.
My friend Sterling wrote it and he narrated it.
Wow.
But he wrote it he wrote it in the first person of George Daner. He tells the story from George Daner's point of view.
Okay.
And then that's George Daner. And then we got a friend of mine to dress up close to what George Daner looked like. And we had him, so he'll be more in the shadows in the documentary. But so we did some footage of him last week, and that'll all be part of the documentary. But it's going to be a really fun piece, and it's going to premiere the same night as we start the film festival. So
That's super.
8 o'clock on September 20th,
Right.
we'll premiere this. It's going to be a short piece, and then we go right into the Cut Film Festival. So that'll be a good night. And the film festival, we're in our third year now.
Wow.
I mean, it's every year you figure out more and more. I mean, when I I decided with a friend of mine to start a film festival in Millville. We thought, okay, how hard can it be? Well, like anything in life, it's way harder than you think it's going to be. And making Millville a film festival destination is a challenge. But we're getting great response and we're getting great films. Last year we had 189 films from 39 countries.
Wow.
This year we're up to 120 from 28 countries, but we still have 3 weeks to go.
Wow.
So, and we'll show 50 films at the film. They're all short films.
Right.
Nothing longer than 20 minutes. Most of them are in the 5 to 12 minute range. So that's one
that
of
I
our,
can stay with because I have ADD. So
that's
5
what I'm
to
saying.
12.
Most people today don't. They're on TikTok. They're on this. They don't want to see anything long anymore.
No, it's
but
true.
there's some brilliant filmmakers making these really short films. I mean, some of my favorites are animation and music videos and experimental. They're like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Jeez.
So we're in the process now of putting that together. I'm hoping you'll be able to make it this year.
I hope so too.
Here's another thing we're doing this year that we didn't do before. Anybody who's a Millville resident gets in for free.
Oh, that's good.
So if they have proof that they're a Millville
Right.
citizen, they walk in the door, they can watch as many films as they want, they can leave, come and go when they want.
Oh, that's
not
nice.
a problem. We want the people of Millville, the citizens of Millville, to enjoy it, to get to see it. And then we're also drawing people from outside the area, including filmmakers. Last year we had some young filmmakers come in from California and other parts of the country, and they had a great time. They had a really good time.
There you see it, inside shot of the beautiful Levoy
Yeah,
Theater.
the Levoy Theater is
gorgeous.
I mean, how many film festivals get a theater like that to work with?
Not many.
I
that's
went
for
to
sure.
Montclair Film Festival last year to like see how they do it. They're really good. They're very organized, but they didn't have a theater like the Levoy. They were in these tiny little 100-seat theaters, and it just wasn't the same experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're very fortunate that the Levoy works with us and helps us out with this film festival.
We're talking with Bill Horin about some great things going on in the city of Millville, and we'll be back with more right after these messages.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield. Those expensive repair bills get paid and at the mechanic of their choice. They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantee. Call CarShield now.
Call 1-800-890-2387.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. Ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Business demands location. Millville, New Jersey's got it. Business demands infrastructure. Millville's got it. Business demands a ready workforce. Millville's got it. Business demands affordable real estate. Millville's got it. Business demands leadership that gets it. Millville gets it.
Whether you're building, expanding, or relocating your operation, Millville means business.
Visit millvillenj.gov.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Bill Horin is my special guest. And Bill, is there anything you can't do? I can't do anything, and you can do everything.
No. Here's the thing, Jim, and I tell people this. My specialty is finding people who do things I can't do. I work with an incredible team. I know I can't design. I got a great designer, Bill Manazik. I can't do music. Chris Arazi does.
Yeah.
I can't write. Sterling Brown writes for me. I'm not a great film editor. Taylor Corson does our editing. When we do the website for Millville, the calendar events, Ivy Wilson's been doing that. So I think my talent is finding talented people.
Yes, you have, yeah.
I talked to a guy once who was very successful in business, and I said, how do you learn to do all that? He goes, I don't. I find people that are better than me to do it. So I may give the impression I know how to do a lot of this stuff. I know I can't. And that's, I think, is my specialty, recognizing that I can find someone better than me to do a lot of it. I'm a good photographer, I'm a good videographer, and I'm a good producer. So those are the things.
Well, that's three things that I'm not.
Well,
so you got me on.
Yeah, but
three
you had
things.
so many, dude.
Bill, if I could,
you've been doing this forever, man. You're so good at what you do.
well, if I couldn't talk though, I can't do anything else. I have no other ability. I really don't.
And how many people have made a total living from talking, and
that's
very
true.
successful living?
Yeah.
So, Jim, believe me, you're doing something that's pretty amazing. So just keep doing it.
Yeah, and I enjoy it, Bill. I enjoy having people like you on the program and talking about the positive things that are going on, in Millville in this situation. And want to remind everybody, well, I don't want to do that because that'll date this, and I don't want to date this. But anyway, be sure to tune in to our programs. We're on 6 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and we hope you'll join us for our Round South Jersey program. And we were talking about the Palace of Depression, and that goes along with the premiere of the ArtC documentary, and that will be September 20th, and that's at the Levoy. And then the Cut Film Festival, that's the one. Tell me about that one.
Well, the documentary is actually the opening. It's the same night as the film festival. So
I see, 20th, 21st.
We're premiering the Palace of Depression at 8 o'clock. And then we go right into the film festival from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. But that night is Third Friday. So not only are we doing the film festival and the documentary premiere, we have an exhibit called Click happening at the Arts Innovation Center. It's our fourth time doing Click. And Click has some of the best artists in South Jersey photographing some of our best, some of the best photographers photographing some of our best artists. So that's a big night for us. We got a lot going on. And then at the Renaissance Center, we're having a retrospective exhibit and a little bit of a fundraiser. So it's a big night. We got a lot of stuff going on all over town. But back to the film festival, that was from Click. I think George was going to show our little promo clip from the film festival. So every year we try to do a promo clip to get people interested from outside the area. The films that we chose, so the way that they were presented, the level and quality of the film presentation, the theater we held this in, the quality of the projector, everything was just top notch. Let it roll.
Bill, one of the things it does mention on the 21st, you're running the film festival from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., right?
It's a long day.
Yeah.
People come and go. From 7 to 8 is actually the awards ceremony. So
7 to 8 on Saturday night.
7 to 8 on Saturday night, we give out the awards. There's 12 categories, and we're going to, some of the people will be in attendance, some of them won't be. I shipped awards all over the world last year.
Wow.
Because if people can't make it, I make sure they get their little trophy, very nice looking little trophy. So, yeah, that's a big part of the whole thing. So it's a 2-day event, but Saturday is the long, big day. And if you go to our website, njshorts.com, by the beginning of September, we'll have all the films listed with a short description. That way you can look and say, hey, I think I'm interested in this film and this film. And you can decide which films you'd really like to see or which group of films.
Right.
Because most people aren't going to sit through 9 hours of films. I had several people last year that sat through 9 hours of films.
God bless them.
And they loved it. They had a good time, but that's not the norm. So yeah, it's a good event that we're working really hard to keep growing, and I want to see it become a bigger event in Millville. We're on a 5-year plan. This is year 3. I think we're making a lot of progress, and thank God we get support from people in Millville and from businesses in Millville and the city of Millville. That makes a huge difference. It lets us promote it and do things. We've also gotten, this is the front page of Atlantic City Press last year. We were on the front page of the press. We were on the front page. We were in several magazines. We were on the front page of SNJ Today. So it gets a positive message out about Millville. People are saying, oh, here's something really good, really cool happening in Millville. So we're getting the word out about the film festival, and it's getting a lot of good play.
That's super.
Yeah, we're trying. We're really working hard to do that.
The Click 24 exhibit, that's the third Friday. That's the 20th.
Yeah, that's one of my
That's the open
favorite.
reception before the film festival.
Yeah, that'll be from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Arts Innovation Center. So about, I'm going to say 2016, was that 8 years ago? I had this idea. I remember seeing pictures all the time of like Andy Warhol and Salvador Dali and Picasso, and they were always these really creative portraits of these guys. You knew who they were. Mm-hmm. You saw these pictures and you recognized them. And I'm thinking, nobody knows what our artists look like in South Jersey, and when you see a picture of them, it's usually a bad snapshot or just something kind of hurriedly done.
Right.
So I decided I'd like to have our best photographers photograph our best artists, but do it in a very creative manner. I don't want just, here's a headshot of somebody. Make it as creative as you can. So this year I've got Paul Dempsey, I've got Ruben Garcia, I got Sarah Escalon, and I was one of the photographers as well. And we photographed this year 17 different artists.
Wow.
Some of them from this immediate area, some of them from other locations in South Jersey. So the exhibit will feature the photographs, which are being framed right now, but it also features artwork by each of the artists.
Oh, that's
so
great.
You're not only seeing this incredible portrait of each artist, you're also seeing samples, and we got some of the best artists. I mean, this is the 4th time we've done this, so we've gone through a lot of artists to do this. But I'm very proud of this exhibit. The Arts Innovation Center has been very gracious to give us the room and to, they do a great job of presenting shows there. So that one will be the opening reception is September 20th, but it's going to be hung. I think they said they're hanging it like August 28th.
Okay.
So it'll be up for a while, and people can go in there and take a look and get to see a great exhibit and some, I think, great photographs.
Oh, that's fantastic. It really is. It's got lots of wonderful things coming up. My goodness. And the nice thing is that you're doing the tourism thing for Millville to, let people see. And what's good too, even though, I have almost like 4,900 Facebook friends. So if I share, what the exhibit, at least those people, can catch it that way. So that is free advertising and free promotion for
You going to do that for me, Jim?
Sure will.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's the same thing we're trying to do with the tourism site, is get people to share it.
Yeah.
I have a press release that we're sending out next week, and I will send it out to businesses in Millville and organizations and get them to start sharing the website, because the website features all of them on it. I mean, it's featuring. So we will be expanding the website to include more businesses and more services, and anything that we can that tells people what Millville's about. So we'll be sending that out next week. It's going to be a news release. And then the poster, like I said, we're looking to get a few more sponsors, and then we'll put up a poster not only all over Millville, but in as many locations outside of Millville as we can do as well. So I'm excited about this, and I feel there's an energy happening. I think things are happening. I see new businesses coming into town. I see existing businesses excited about doing things. So, and you hear the same things I do. You know what's going on. So it could be a second, splurge, growth, whatever.
That would be nice. It's interesting. I had a friend from North Jersey that came down on a weekend and visited with me, and she had never really been in Millville. So I took her to Captain Dave's boat.
There's another one.
And he had a ball, and of course Captain Dave explained everything and all that kind of stuff. And then we went out to the airport museum. She said, "My God, Jim, this is like the Smithsonian. This is a fabulous place." Again, another gem that Millville has to offer.
You've got the river. You got Captain Dave's cruises. You got the lake, Union Lake.
Absolutely.
I was out at the Union Lake Sailing Club on Saturday for an event. There's just all this nature in Millville. Is like there's so much. The dam, people go there to take pictures of the eagles and other birds. The Morris River Bluffs Preserve, where I walked the path there. Now, it's a great path. I'm not going to do it again. There are spots on that path where I'm just not stable enough to climb on some of this stuff up and down without a railing to hold on to.
Right, I know what you mean.
So I'm thinking, okay, I did it. I had a good time. I made it through. I'm glad I did it once. But there's all kinds of stuff like that going on, and with the park, I know they're trying to add stuff to one of the parks now.
Yeah.
They got a fundraiser going on to add more stuff. So they're always growing this stuff. They're always finding new ways to improve these things. And then, like I said, getting people out to experience it. And the same with the events in Millville. I mean, for a small town, the number of events that this city has is just unbelievable. The city has a whole list of events that they're doing with Samantha Cruz and the Parks and Recreation.
Exactly.
You got the racetrack, you've got Wheaton Arts, you've got the Leavoy, you got the Renaissance Center, you got Arts Innovation. There's so many people that are, and then there's the library, CU Morris River.
Yes.
I mean, I've been to 2 of their events just recently, and I didn't even know about their events before. So I think that this is kind of like people that will go, oh, well, there's nothing to do in Millville. I may have thought that at one time myself, but I don't think that anymore. And that's why I'm hoping people will visit the website. Visit MillvilleNJ.com is the website. Check out the events, check out the different listings. Just take a look. And we're open to suggestions. We want it to grow. We want it to get better.
There you see that.
That's right across the street from me. I live right across the street.
That's right. You told me at High and Main.
Yeah, I live on High and Main. That's right across. That's Joseph Buck Park.
Yep.
I took that in the spring.
Yeah, I've done a few weddings at Joseph Buck Park.
Have you really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people were very happy, very pleased. And again, Millville has so many natural resources. It's just unbelievable when you think about it. The rivers, even Laurel Lake, this side of Laurel Lake's Millville. And, we're fortunate. We really are. And as I mentioned, Captain Dave with his pontoon boat ride, it's informational. You get to see the Morris River. And we're lucky to have the Morris River. I mean, a friend of mine was saying the other day, when you think about back when communities were started, most of them were built on a river because that was their transportation to move products and all that kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, that's true. It really is. And, lots of good things. I know the county commissioners are pushing for more parks, and there's been some reference to giving some help to the Bridgeton Zoo, which is a very popular place for people to go and take their children. So, we have lots of things there as well, so we're very fortunate. We're talking with Bill Horin about all the good things happening in Millville. We'll be back with Bill right after these messages.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
You learn pretty fast that there are no shortcuts in racing or in life. One of my first attempts to deal with my own hair loss was a literal shortcut. Thankfully, my wife found Hair Club. I was shocked the Hair Club had virtually every solution possible. If I had known about Hair Club sooner, I never would have tried any of those overhyped advertised solutions. You can get your own free personalized consultation with a hair loss expert and be on your way to the finish line in no time. Call now.
Save 20% on select solutions using promo code Frankie.
Call 800-597-3910.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. Ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Welcome back to Round South Jersey, and it's Bill's turn.
My turn. So I was asking Jim during the commercial break how long he's been in Millville, and he said he's been here his whole life. He's been born and raised in this area. And you've done a lot of different things in Millville. So what do you think are some of the biggest changes you've seen since in your life in Millville? What kind of things? I know my family all worked in a glass factory. So when the glass factories closed, that just made everything went topsy-turvy for a while. So in your opinion, what are some of the moments that you remember in the history of Millville since you've been here? That's
a good point, Bill. My dad had a trucking company, and he hauled silica sand, which was a product to make glass. And my uncle, Bill Felmy, was in quality control at Armstrong Cork. But he'd gotten his degree, he started teaching, and then he ended up loving what he did. He taught the IT department at Cumberland County College at the time. So they were the two men that were most influential in my life. My uncle Franklin Menz had Menz's restaurant, and that was my two uncles, was Bill Felmy and Franklin Menz. And Men's restaurant, by the way, is still doing very well in Rio Grande. It's booming. If you want to go there, some great food and some interesting things in the restaurant as well. And that's from that standpoint. But you know what? I was lucky, Bill. I went to St. Mary's School, so I started at 5 years old. So when I was 16, at 17, I was 17 in June, and I went to college right away. I wanted to be a teacher. So I took 9 credits, and this is 1963. I took 9 college credits and completed them in the summer. So the fall came, and Ed McCrinsky was friends with my family, and he said, "What's Jim going to do for a career?" And they said, my parents said, "Well, he wants to be a teacher." He said, "You think he'd want a substitute?" So I actually started substitute teaching in Millville at 17 years old.
Wow.
Catherine Baumhoff's class at Wood School was my first class I taught. And at 18 years old, I taught girls phys ed at Bacon School. And then by the time I was 19, I was still subbing. As soon as I hit 20, I got a full-time job. 21, 22, I was a special ed teacher. And then eventually I went back and got certified as a speech therapist. So that worked well for me, Bill, because I would do my teaching during the day, and then I'd do radio from 7 to 11 at night. So I was working 2 jobs, which I loved both of them. And then, eventually I was able to, move on from full-time teaching to part-time with a speech therapist. So I was able to do speech therapy 2 days a week, and I got a couple $100. So I had some guaranteed money as I was building the business. This business I started 47 years ago.
Oh, man, good for you.
And it was funny, too, because when it was started, all I had was Reverend Kenyon, a couple churches, and the sports. They were the only things that sold for Channel. Then it was Channel 4 in Millville, Channel 2 in Vineland. I thought, what am I going to do? Well, then I came up with the idea of Auction Time, which I was ahead of my time because that was before Home Shopping Network and before QVC. And believe it or not, Bill, in 1980, between Millville, Vineland, and Bridgeton and the township, I did over $1 million retail sales, selling Rubik's Cubes and 40-piece socket ratchet sets and lamps and all kind of things like that. But then what hurt me with that business was remotes and expanded channels. Because at that time, there were only 12 channels, and most people didn't have the remote. So they'd put me on, and they'd leave it on, and they'd watch and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't have asked for better opportunities that I've had through all the years that I've been in Millville and taking place. And then, of course, the one thing I'd always wanted to be was the mayor of Millville. And in 1997, I ran with some great people, Jeff Trout, Jimmy Parent, John Hollingshead, and Joe Durella. The 5 of us got elected. So my dream came true of being the mayor of Millville. And I'm the only person in the history of the city of Millville who has served 3 full terms, 12 years. Mike Santiago did get 2 in, but before that, everybody was just 1 term. That's because Millville's form of government is weird. The commission form of government is not something I recommend because you just don't have any idea who's going to finish first. And, sometimes I remember voting for Chet Goodwin, who I thought the world of. And Chet had been the mayor, but a guy that I also liked, I gave him my 5th vote, and he ended up beating Chet, and he became the mayor. That wasn't his forte, so that's something that I don't know if it'll ever change, but it would be nice. Where Vineland's got a phenomenal mayor. He's a businessman, has a great background, and, just is there to do what needs to be done and knows the city well. Although I will say for Mayor Romanek, who's just taken over, I'm impressed with his demeanor, and it's nice to have him on the show, and I wish him the best.
I like him a lot. I think he's not sure the word growing into the job is the right word, but I've seen just from my little experience with him some major changes, and I think he's doing well. I'm very impressed, and he's been good to me.
Yeah.
You mentioned teaching. I come from a family of teachers, and a lot of my
do.
family.
Yeah.
So teaching's in my blood, and I taught college for 6 years.
Wow.
But I've also found that I've had a lot of people work for me that I've taught that went on to become professionals in the field. And it's something else I want to do in Millville is I can't keep doing all the stuff that I'm doing by myself. So I want to keep training people and bring in younger people and teach them how to do this. Teach them there's so many things that are interesting about what we do, what you do, what I do, that I think sharing that knowledge and bringing up another generation and getting there. I love to hear I have one guy working with me, Ludovico Menegon. He just graduated from Stockton last year. And he's still young. He's still learning video and editing, but he's got ideas that a younger person will have.
Right.
And he's bringing an energy to what I do, and I'll listen to him. So I'm bringing him into town, hopefully in a few weeks. We're going to do a few videos called A Day in Millville.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're going to feature, one of them will be a day with the arts. One will be a day with nature. One will be a day at the racetrack, whatever.
Right.
But it'll be great for the website, but also his style. It appeals to a younger generation.
Oh, that's good.
he's really good at what he does. And I want to work with more younger people and let them show me how to do things.
Well, you know, something I would recommend. Matt Nieder is one of the teachers at the Cumberland County VOTEC. And we've worked with them and gotten some good interns from them. In fact, Jimmy Swift's son, Parker Swift, he produced the mayor's last show I did with Mayor Romanek, and came from that program. So there's a lot of young people in those programs. And Rowan College, South Jersey has it, as you said. I guess Stockton also has it. But it's nice to get them involved and give them a chance to learn.
Well, I worked with Jason Penza for a while.
Oh, yeah.
He used a lot of Rowan universities as interns, and they have a great film department.
Yes,
there.
they do.
So I've worked with them, and like I said, I get excited about. I see people coming up that can do some great stuff. I want to find the most talented people I can to do this kind of stuff. I get excited about that.
That's good.
I like people that can surprise me. Show me something I haven't seen before. I mean, that's part of the excitement of still doing this. It's like with the Palace of Depression. That's a whole new team for me. Chris Arazi doing an original score. Yeah. I've never had someone do an original score for one of our films before.
That is cool.
And he's such a professional.
Oh, he is amazing.
And he's going to add sound effects here, and he's going to put this kind of music, and he goes, I need more to work with so I can give you the best. I'm going to meet with him tomorrow.
Oh,
Dan Piano, who you said you know.
Yeah, I do. Great guy.
He's like, did we get enough footage? We can go back and get more if you want. Sterling Brown writing this incredible script, which if I say, Sterling, can you tweak this, tweak that? He's a professional.
Yeah.
He knows. I said, I need about 10 minutes. He gave me 9 minutes, 58 seconds. I mean, these guys are so good at what they do, and they make me look good.
Yeah, well, as you said, I mean, without George Kachia, I couldn't do this. I don't have any ability to, do all the stuff he does, and Ryan Narowski. I mean, that's the key. You got to surround yourself with good people who know what they're doing. And George has had 40 years experience plus. I had George when he was a young high school kid, or just got out of high school. And, I admire them. I truly admire people that can do things. I mean, honestly, other than talking, I can't do anything. I can't.
You keep saying that.
I don't have the ability to do, certain things like carpentry or plumbing.
Okay, so you were mayor 3 times, but you can't do anything. I'm a little confused by that.
Well, I guess when it comes
but I see
to
people
things.
all over in Millville, the talent, like with art. I'm not an artist. I can't paint. I can't draw. I look at Diane Rogers and Jackie Sandro and Danielle Cartier and Marianne Cannon, Marianne Kuntz, and I'm thinking, I can't do what you guys do, but what I can do is tell the world about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I can tell the world, this is what I do.
Yeah. And this is what I love doing. And when I taught school, I used to say to kids, do what you love, and this is the thing I do get to do that I love doing, talking with you, talking with different people. In fact, I have coming in Wednesday evening Joe Conda, who attended the Republican National Convention. And, it'd be interesting to talk to him about how that went. And, that this is my enjoyment, being able to have people come in and talk.
I do miss that. As you know, I did a TV show for 2 years, and I got to talk. I had 99 different artists on my show. I said, one more would have been nice.
Holy cow.
But I do miss that. I miss the interaction and getting to learn more about them, and I like asking questions. And as a documentary filmmaker, I'm the one that does the interviews, so I have to be able to ask questions of people. And I think what you have is a gift. I know you're not saying that, but to be able to get people to talk about things and, to listen and get something out of them, that's a gift, man.
Well, I certainly enjoy that, and all. I thank you. Bill, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Keep
for
up the good
me, man.
work. Proud of you for everything you're doing, especially here for the city of Millville. It's a great job.
Thank you again, and it's good to see you, man.
You too. George Kachia, thank you for producing the show tonight. And I thank you all for joining us here on Around South Jersey. Take care. Bye-bye.
Jim.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC. Programming that serves the South Jersey market.